Date 8. Today we are doing a new topic. You are going to write today's date. Your heading is whole numbers. Your subheading is multiples and factors. You are going to take down these keywords for me. Okay, and I'm going to discuss the work with you. Now, once you are done watching this video, you're going to answer this entire activity for me. I will post up the pictures for you, and if you have any questions, you can just let me know and I will get back to you. Okay, let's start. Okay, we find the factors of a whole number by finding the numbers that divide exactly into the original number with no remainder. The number itself and 1 are always factors. So if we want to find the factors of 12, for example, okay, we already know that the factor is 1 and 12 already, because these numbers can go into this number exactly without leaving a remainder. Let's think of other factors of 12. Which other factors can go into 12 without leaving a remainder? We have 2, 3, 4, and 6. So these are the factors of 12. Okay? To find the factors of a whole number, start at 1 and then try 2 and 3 and so on. Carry on dividing the positive integers until you find all the integers that divide exactly into the number. The factors of 50 are 1, 2, 5, 10, 25, and 50, because all of these numbers can go exactly into 50 without leaving a remainder. When a number has many factors, it is easier to find all the factors if you pair them together. You can write the factors of 50 as 1 times 50, 2 times 25, and 5 times 10. You can show the pair of factors on a number line. So like 1 times 50, 2 times 25, 5 times 10. But I feel it's more simpler to do it this way. So if I wanted to write the factors of 12 like that, I would say 1 times 12, right? 2 times 6, 4 times 3. I think that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. So I would write it like that. Okay. When a number has many factors, try to find the middle pair of factors. This makes it easy to calculate the rest of the factors. This method makes sure that you don't leave out any of the factors, because each factor before the middle pair must have a matching large factor. For example, for the factors of 50, once you have found the middle pair, 5 times 10, you know that there can only be 2 more pairs of factors, 1 times 50 and 2 times 25. A prime number is a number that has only 2 factors, 1 and itself. Numbers with more than 2 factors are called composite numbers. So let's look at an example. If we look at the example of 12, 12 is a composite number because it has more than 2 factors. However, if we look at the number 2, which numbers can go into 2? Only 1 times 2, 1 and 2 itself. So therefore 2 is a prime factor. If we look at the number 7, how many numbers can go into 7? Only 1 and 7. Therefore, it is a prime factor. If we look at the number 10, how many numbers can go into the number 10? 1 times 10, 2 times 5. It has more than 1 factor. Therefore, it is a composite number. So, please know the difference between prime numbers and composite numbers. Okay? The numbers 2, 3, 5, 7, and 11 are examples of prime numbers because they have only 2 factors, the number 1 and the number itself. The numbers 4, 6, 8, 9, and 10 are examples of composite numbers because they have more than 2 factors. All numbers can be written as a product of their prime factors. You can use a factor tree to do this. Now I'm going to show you guys how to do a factor tree using a much simpler number. Okay? So, for example, if I say, write down the number 20 as a product of its prime factors, I will write down the number 20 here, right? This is a factor tree. And I'm going to divide it by 2. 20 divided by 2 is 10 because 2 times 10 equals 20. Now I'm going to look at my numbers that I have and I'm going to see which one is prime and which one is composite. Right, obviously the 2 is a prime number. It is in its most simplest form. So I need to now break up the 10 and I can do this by dividing it by 2. Remember, if a number is not divisible by 2, you can then divide it by 3. If it's not divisible by 3, it can be maybe divisible by 5. Okay, you just move on up like that. So 10 is divisible by 2. So we divide it by 2 and we get 2 times 5. Okay, 2 is a prime number. 5 is also a prime number because only 1 and 5 can go into 5. Therefore, if I want to write 20, right, as a product of its prime factors, I can write it as 2 times 2 times 5. Okay, let's do a much bigger number. Right, let's look at the example in this textbook. By the way, you guys have to take down this example. Okay, right. 630, we are writing it as a product of its prime factors. So we are going to firstly divide it by 2. When we divide it by 2, we are going to get 2 times 315. Now, 2 is already a prime factor. We cannot simplify it. However, we can simplify 315. Right? 315 is not divisible by 2. So we try to see if it is divisible by 3. And it is. 3 can go into 315 105 times. So 3 is already in its simplest form. It is a prime number, cannot be simplified. We move on to 105. It is not divisible by 2, it is divisible by 3. We see how many times 3 can go into 105 by dividing it, and we get an answer of 35. When we look at 35, we can see what number it is divisible by. And 5 times 7, which are both prime factors, will give us 35. So if we want to write 630 as a product of its prime factors, we'll say 2 times 3 times 3 times 5 times 7 in order to get an answer. Right, I hope you guys understand. Please answer the activity, and if you have any questions, just message me and I will get back to you. Assalamu alaikum.